Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an interesting episode for you guys. You definitely want to stick around for us, so make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, y'all know Skip Bayless and Kevin Durant have like a love-hate relationship, it seems like, right? More of the love usually is coming from Skip's side, and more of just, let me just say, the disdain or the hate usually comes from Kevin Durant's side. And I've actually heard Kevin Durant, like when they were doing shows on Undisputed, where Kevin Durant was like, I really can't stand this guy and all of these different things. And Skip Bayless is always somehow perplexed, like, why is KD saying this to me? Why is he rejecting my love? I was the one that supported KD. I said he was going to be big time. All of these different things, right? I've been championing him since he was in college. All of these different things, right? So there's this kind of relationship between the two of them. But to be honest with you, I understand where KD is coming from as it pertains to Skip Bayless, because Skip Bayless likes to crack what my late grandmother used to call expensive jokes, right? And expensive jokes are basically when you crack a joke at the expense of that person, right? Like in one breath, Skip Bayless will come out and say, oh, Kevin Durant is the best player in the world. He's been the best player in the world for the past 5 years. It's no question about it, right? And then when he fails in the playoffs, he'll be the same one to turn around and call him Kevin Durant. The same guy, right? Same guy. So you can understand why KD probably doesn't really trust him. So ever since KD made the request to be traded from the Nets, Skip has been one of the prominent voices out there that has been saying this: honor your contract. Honor your contract. And Skip has said on Undisputed within the last week or so, he said if he were the president or the GM or the owner of the, the Brooklyn Nets, he would not trade KD. He said he would act like he's going to make some moves, try to go get a different coach or whatever it is, but then basically say, sorry, KD, we couldn't find anything for you, and you're just going to basically have to stay here, right? Skip Bayless has been saying that. And now it seems as if someone from Kevin Durant's camp basically caught wind of what Skip Bayless has been saying, this position that I just explained to you. And basically he had something to say to Skip Bayless, which prompted Skip to go on Twitter less than 24 hours ago to basically respond to him and directly to Kevin Durant. But before we go any further, this video is brought to you by Aura, who's the sponsor of this video and the official sponsor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me just get into this tweet and read what Skip Bayless had to say here on Twitter. He wrote yesterday, I'm reading this, is saying about 10 hours ago, hey, KD, are you now using your brother to send messages for you? I said, if I'm the Nets, I hold you to the 4 years left on your contract. Your brother responded, hell with that and hell with me. That how you feel? Hell with 4 more years of a contract you signed? So that's what Skip Bayless had to say on Twitter yesterday to Kevin Durant and his brother. Now, let me quickly say this. Let me just first say this for clarity's sake. I didn't even know that Kevin Durant had a brother. Up until those comments, I had no idea, right? I had no idea. And I'm just saying that just for clarification's sake. I didn't know any of that, right? So I'm not saying like, oh, yeah, KD's brother said it because Skip Bayless. I didn't know that. I don't even know if that's true, right? All I saw was basically Skip Bayless responding to him. However, back to the main point. Skip Bayless does bring up an important point, however. Kevin Durant just signed a $195 million 4-year extension with the Brooklyn Nets. That's a very, very, very big contract. He's not the first. I mean, there are guys signing $175 million contracts, $200 million. I mean, you saw the contracts that have been coming out recently with guys signing these massive deals. And I think Bradley Beal signed the biggest one, like 240 something, if I'm not mistaken, some huge contract. So I can understand where Skip is coming from if he's speaking from the vantage point of the Nets management or the ownership. Like basically like, bro, we basically capitulated to all of your requests. We gave you everything that you wanted. We gutted our team. We brought in the guys that you wanted. And now you're basically turning around after signing a 4-year contract with us, extension with us, to just say, okay, I want out. Like, how is that fair to us? I understand Skip Bayless's point when it comes to that. And also, and I think it's important to bring this up, and Shannon Sharp, who's also, given his opinions on this matter, Shannon Sharp has made a very good point. And that point has been this, that no matter what you say about LeBron James has never broke any of his contracts to go to other teams. That's the one thing you cannot say about him. And I think in that sense, LeBron is more of a throwback player when it comes to that, right? Because players in the past generally didn't do something like that. Usually, if they were disgruntled at a particular location, they would play out their contract and then move on to the next place, right? You rarely saw players breaking their contracts and, trade me to this team, trade me to that team. That doesn't happen. But to be honest with you guys, it's the NBA today, right? This is the NBA. This is the NBA world that we live in. And so many players have done this. And Kevin Durant is not the first person to do something like this. Give you some examples. Kawhi Leonard, right, with the Spurs. You can think of Paul George, who had just signed an extension with the Oklahoma City Thunder, then turns around and then requests a trade and gets traded to the Clippers. Paul George did it. And then, of course, you had James Harden, right? James Harden just did it with the Houston Rockets, the Brooklyn Nets, and now he's with the Philadelphia 76ers, although he just signed an extension with them. So, KD is not the first guy to come around and do this, right? I just think that I think it carries more weight because of the caliber of basketball player that he is. Kevin Durant is arguably the best basketball player in the NBA. So when a player of his magnitude decides to do something like this, it sends ripple effects all throughout the NBA. So the question then becomes this. Do you think that Skip Bayless has a point when he says to Kevin Durant, listen, you signed a contract, honor your contract? Or do you think that, listen, given the fact that this is the NBA that we're in today, and players have the power, and players are their own businesses, that Kevin Durant should make the decision that's in the best interest for him, and then think about, the other parties after that? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we'll catch y'all on the next episode.